we need to understand what the basic components are of the game before anything else. So what is the actual sport that we're playing, and what does it entail? What are the rules of it? And then once we know that as a player, as a parent, as a coach, then we can start to move on to the identity of players. So this is where I alluded to about my little, example of being on the field and losing my way a little bit. It's really important that if you think about the game, and there's statistics out there around, you only have the ball at your feet maybe 1% of the time, less than that within a game. So there's a lot of time that you're not on the ball. And there's very little time on the ball. But what is important is the environment is constantly feeding you information into your brain. You are constantly seeing things. Your brain is active consistently. So that stays 100% active, and there are a million data points coming through into your head uh, based on the game situation. Randomly, that could be your opponent running past you, or a throw in, or a goal being scored. It could be anything. Someone shouting from the sidelines. It could be anything. So the ability for a player to identify themselves within the actual game to make informed decisions, and this could be at any level, whether it's a 2v2 or 11v11, they need to be able to identify with the game. They need to understand where they fit within the game. And this is
Yeah.
where I created a little rule for my players at all levels, by the way, at professional level, to be able to bring that identity in all the situations. So then we'll lead into what we do with that being on the field, and how we identify with each other in terms of how we actually start to process strategies.
Mhm.
And let's not get overwhelmed by that. It's just, how are we solving problems to score goals, and how are we stopping the opposition from scoring? So how are we looking at that? And where do we start the process of that? Then that leads into little creative things that you can do as a parent or a coach around your players, of little concepts, their little structural ideas. If we look at the components of the game, you'll have seen these in different visuals from coaches all around the world, I'm pretty sure, of what are the key moments. And there are intricacies and deeper levels with them. But essentially, if we think about the four elements, we've either got the ball or we don't. And within that, we've either had it and just lost it. That's a little moment. Or we don't have it and we've just won it. And that's a little moment. So those are kind of four moments, if you like, that vary in time. And we're either attacking or defending with that. So now that we understand the components, we should be able to watch any clip, and we should be able to say, well, that's a moment of control. We have it. That's a moment of transition. We've just lost it, etc. So once we can do that, we can then move on to understanding, okay, where are we actually on the field? Where is that moment? And this is where, as coaches, you may look to split up the pitch into different areas when you're trying to help your players or your child navigate around the field in terms of a geographical kind of area. So being up towards the opponent's goal is different to being, just in front of your own goal. Being in a wide area is different from being in a central area. And you'll see how that fits a little bit later when we look at the little mini game approach. So splitting the pitch into real simple areas could be two halves, it could be the three thirds, it could be split a little bit like we have here to create a central lane and wide lanes, or you might add more. So we talk about, I think Pep Guardiola used to always talk about the half spaces. So you start to create different lanes with that. So the higher you go up, the more intricate you can be about that. But really, what the essence of simplicity with this is, you're sectioning the pitch off to allow you to give players an idea of, in certain areas of the field, they need to be considering certain things.
Yeah. So as an example, if we've just won the ball back, so we're in transition in attack, and we're in our defensive third in the central quadrant, this is how we can, these are some considerations.